Greetings Guardians and welcome to the channel. I'm Unclear and today we're going over the TWAB. Or the TWID, I think it's called now. So, this week in Destiny we're just a few days away from our next expansion, Edge of Fate. So how about we give you some more info about what's to come to ease the wait. We also have info about the next raid, including its name. So check the topics below and let's get this TWID started. So, Edge of Fate, our next raid is Rise to the 9. Brief, another brief from I can't remember his name, the other guy. Armor mod updates, let's go over incoming changes, and Bungie store, which we won't cover. Edge of Fate is almost here. The Edge of Fate launches next week on July 15th, and not only does our next expansion for Destiny 2 arrive, it's also the start of both the Year of Prophecy and the beginning of our next long story arc for the franchise, the Fate Saga. We are incredibly excited and we can't wait for you all to start playing the new content. To help with the wait, this week's published Dev Insights video covering some of the most intriguing aspects of Edge of Fate. Here it is again if you haven't watched it. I'll leave a link to these down below if you want to watch them again. If you're counting the days until Edge of Fate, you're not alone. It's hard to believe only 5 more days remain. We are dying for you to experience it. Wander in the Desert Perpetual. The Edge of Fate raid launches on Saturday, July 19th, and we have much to share about it, but we're not spoiling anything today, just sharing its name, the Desert Perpetual. As tradition by now, the raid will launch in contest mode, our hardest difficulty, and it will be available for 48 hours. For those who look for eternal glory and want to compete in the world's first race, the first 5 teams to complete the raid on contest mode will earn raid belts. We will share the final details of the TWID 17th to 7th, along with the new raid emblems and more. On June 19th at 10 AM PT, hundreds of fire teams all around the globe will compete to become the world's first race winners. Only one team will make it and take home the coveted world's first belts. We have some key details to help with your planning, including requirements for raid entry, and updates to world's first raid completion criteria. All this criteria. Alright, details. Contest mode will be enabled for 48 hours. Completing the Edge of Fate campaign at Legendary difficulty will get you contest ready. Or you may want to complete the campaign at normal difficulty and hunt for power before the raid goes live. We will provide exact power requirements prior to launch, so stay tuned. So that'll probably be next week, I guess. Entry requirements. Completion of the Edge of Fate campaign. Okay, so you must do the campaign to be able to do the raid. Completion criteria. Fire teams do not need to return to orbit to finish the race. The first fire team to finish every encounter and loot the final chest will be declared the world's first winners and have their victory immortalized with the Desert Perpetual world's first raid belts. Similar to past raids, we're working tirelessly with our analytics and security teams to maintain the integrity of the challenge and the raid when the first completion happens. We will verify through our internal systems and tools before we announce the winning team on our social channels, and then we'll start our more thorough security review. We don't want to make everyone wait around while we dig into the data, but if we do find that any cheating or violations have occurred, we'll reserve the right to disqualify a team and crown the next fire team in line world's first, even after the announcement. Once world's first completion has been recorded, normal difficulty will go live. Players will have 48 hours to complete contest mode if they desire, or simply hop into normal mode once the race is complete. Okay, so if you don't want to do day 1, you just want to do it normally in the first week, you have that option as well. So players watching these accounts while world's first race is taking place will receive the Power Hughes emblem as a Twitch drop. So the Bungie pre-show, Evan, Weistag, Necros, Massio, El Teotoland. There's a few people there. CB Gray will be giving out limited codes for the Power Hughes emblem on his YouTube channel through the raid race. After the world's first race, gift a sub to any eligible Twitch channel in Destiny 2 category streaming the Desert Perpetual raid, and you'll see the golden relief emblem. So if you're watching me stream, I'll be streaming here on YouTube and streaming on Twitch. So if you want to receive the emblem, go watch me on Twitch and gift a sub if you want to. Up to you. Last week for Ride of the 9. It's the last week before the Edge of Fate, and that means it's also last week for our dungeon-focused event, Rite of the 9. And for episode Heresy, you have just a few more days to earn gear, complete triumphs, unlock the Eternal and Heretical title. For anyone who doesn't know, episode Heresy has increased drops for its Heretic Arsenal. Just want you to know that. For this final week, we have a few extra things going on, so you can earn the most out of the game. Daybreak is still active as a modifier, so you can go crazy using abilities and your super to defeat your enemies. Weapon drops and end activity rewards have been increased once again, and during this last week. Oh, and don't forget about Zerg. His will is not his own, but he brings gifts from the Nine. Last week, the amazing Choir of One was available among his wares, so what other recent exotic that will be part of the Edge of Fate featured gear will he bring this time? Go to a spot at the tower and discover it for yourself tomorrow. So I'll be covering that for you guys tomorrow, so if you don't want to, stay tuned. I'll post a video on it just after Zerg goes live. The Ride to 9 has been a unique experience, and we hope you enjoyed rediscovering Spire of the Watcher, Ghost of the Deep, and Prophecy, and earning shiny new gear. We'll get into look at what the 9 are planning, even if Orion still speaks in riddles, and what they say directly to you is also pretty confusing. Don't forget our Bungie rewards. Celebrate your mastery within the Ride 9 by unlocking these rewards. They must be purchased by August 19th. So if you want any of these, the disc plate, the shirt, the bracelet, the pin. Right to the 9 tournament with Destiny Tracker. One final hurrah, some of you may participate in last week in Destiny Tracker's Prophecy Dungeon Speedrun competition. And this week we have more fun. From July 10th to 12th, Spire of the Watcher, the featured dungeon and Destiny Tracker speedrun contest will clarify some of the rules to ensure it's a fair game for everyone. The goal of this challenge is for players in solo, duo, or full fire teams to complete the Spire of the Watcher dungeon on Eternity difficulty as quickly as possible, while avoiding any exploits, skips, or advanced movement techniques. All players should follow intended gameplay paths and mechanics, so there's no respawn skips, no out-of-bounds skips. I did one yesterday's Spire in like 14 minutes on Eternity. It was wild. Start to finish 14-minute dungeon run. It's crazy. General rules: follow the intended path, no skipping mechanics or encounters, no fire team warping, standard movement only. Dodge, blink, yeah. Movement techniques that rely on external gear interactions such as using edge or edge to gain unintentional momentum are not permitted. Is that like well skating and I'm guessing shadow skating? Players persons, all party members must remain in the activity for the whole duration of the run. Leaving and rejoining, swapping classes or characters, or intentionally disconnecting is not allowed. Okay. I might have to, if we can't skip, I might actually have to get a team together and do some speedruns of Spire. Yeah. There's some prizes here, so participating, you can win certain prizes. You can get a Star Horse headset mount, and you can even win a PC. Right to 9 PC. Yeah. It's quite a nice PC. The 9 crowned emblem will be provided to all verified participants who participated at least one run across either weekend. So even if you just participate, you'll get this emblem. So I'll be registering it's today actually, so I might have to do it tonight. You'll see me live tonight. Let's do a Spire speedrun. Let's do it. Here we go. Here is the... I'll leave the link to the Destiny Tracker down below as well. Alright, brief 2. Guardian Operative. This patch contains restricted information for selected fire teams and will purge its data upon closure. Combatant Corsair. Classification: Helsinki, House of Exile. Combatant: Unknown Fungal Symbiosis. Hazards: Flight, Aerial Maneuverability, Jet Exhaust Burst, Akimbo Scatter Pistols, Explosive Light Pack. Intel: the Corsair is an aerial combatant using close range weaponry and a highly maneuverable jump jetpack which allows hovering, sustained flight. Guardian operatives report poorly shield ignition coils could be a weak spot on the pack, causing a strong reactive ignition when stressed enough, so shoot them back. Records pulled from House of Exile systems as well as IDO's records indicate that Corsairs were a role creating during the Long Drift as boarding parties and ship-to-ship raiders, while other House have deprecated this role. House of Exile has not. I'd expect the resurgence of jump jet tech reaches other houses. Skirmishes with House of Exile Corsairs describe them as using hit-and-run tactics to distract operators, while Vandals with paracausal weaponry close in to neutralize Guardian threats. When engaging, fire teams are advised to overlay firing zones and stay mobile. Of note, Corsair jump jets run exclusively on fungal material as fuel. In the hierarchy of Helsinki Station, Corsair serves somewhat alongside Vandals, with some being revered as captains. It is a role where individuals can stand out and gain renown through daring deployments or become notorious through unscrupulous ventures. More lore next week. Okay, so those flying guys, shoot them in the back. They're annoying, and while they're shooting up above you, Vandals run at you, so be careful. The artifact is here. So the artifact's been covered a few times now. So if you want to know what the columns are, I will go over it now. Here we go, I'll just make it as well. So in terms of column 1, our champions with anti-barrier scout and pulse, unstoppable sidearm and hand cannon, unstoppable sniper, overload shotgun, overload rapid fire. So overload auto rifles and submachine guns. That's not bad. And column 2, flame fiber freeze, combines solar strand, solar stasis sniper mods into one. All scavenger mods are discounted. One with frost. While frost armor is active, stasis weapons gain increased reload speed and stability. Stasis sword gain increased guard resistance. Tightly weapon, while weapon mail is active, gain increased class ability and grenade ability. Energy, stats. Yes, stats, not in, yeah. And then rapid precision rifling. Rapid precision hits or final blows with scout rifles grant them increased reload speed. And incoming flinch. Reduces incoming flinch. Alright, column 3, fever and chill. Rapid precision hits with solar weapons grant radiant. Rapid precision hits with stasis grant frost armor. Elemental benevolence, granting allies elemental buffs gives class ability energy. It's not bad. Frost renewal, while you have frost armor, taking critical damage releases a burst that freezes nearby combatants and grants frost armor to you and nearby allies. Reciprocal draw, rapid non-sidearm final blows grant sidearms a period of increased damage for a short duration upon next draw. That's not bad. So if you have a sidearm and secondary or primary, and you're switching between the two, it'll be quite nice. Refreshing threads, picking up elemental pickup, matching your subclass or element or subclass element or tangle while you have strand super grants energy to your least charged ability. That's not bad. And in column 4 we have threaded blast. Destroying a tangle with strand damage increases the radius of the explosion and its damage. Cauterized darkness. Stasis or strand debuff non-combatants increase solar damage taken from all sources. I want to test if this works with Blink Watcher. Elemental Daze. Stunning a champion with elemental weapon creates an elementally aligned explosion, applying a matching elemental debuff to them and nearby targets. So, Solar Ignition, Arc Jolt, Void, Weaken. I think it is. Strand would be Tear, and Stasis would be Freeze, I guess. Shoulder to shoulder. Do they sustain precision damage against combatants while 2 or more allies grant you damage resistance? That's just going to be a day 1 must have. 100%. Elemental Coalescence. Defeating targets has a chance to create an elemental pickup matching your equipped super element. Okay, and the final column. Radiant Shrapnel. Dealing sustained weapon damage while radiant or defeating. Defeating a scorched combatant with weapon causes the target to release solar projectiles that deal damage and scorch on impact. If you're in a well, you're automatically radiant. That's going to be fantastic. Shield Crush. While you have woven mail, frost armor, or void overshield, your melee recharges faster and deals increased damage. While you're amplified or radiant, your grenade recharges faster and deals increased damage. This is going to be honestly fantastic. If you're in a well, and you have one well, and another starfire, look, it's going to be awesome. Elemental Overdrive, pick up an elemental pickup or tangle, grants increased damage to weapons of the same element. That's just awesome. And Tangle Web, create a tangle by defeating strand debuff targets. Creating a tangle by defeating strand debuff targets depends nearby combatants. Okay. And last one, Frigid Glare. While Frost Armor is active, Stasis Precision Fireballs cause combatants to release a freezing burst. Oh wow. Alright, so we have to sneeze. Alright, armor mod changes. Hi, sandbox team here again, one more time. Changes come in sandbox to fit a few armor mods that need attention to better fit the new system. Let's talk about them. Okay. Ammo finders now improve contributions to the corresponding meter. The special finder increases special meter and can stack. Reserves on mods on chest armor have been deprecated and replaced with ammo generation mods, which improve the ammo generation of stat weapons matching their damage type and can stack. Okay. Scavenger mods will continue to work as before and continue to be disabled in Crucible and cannot stack. Scout mods have been deprecated. In addition to ammo related changes, some other mods have gotten some adjustments to account for the stat change from Armor 3.0. Armor mods influence stats such as plus 10 stats, Artifice mods and Font mods have been configured to use Armor 3.0 stats. Basic Armor stat mods now have the same mod energy. All plus 10 stat mods now cost 3 energy, and all plus 5 stat mods now cost 1 energy. That's quite nice. Instead of being like 2, 3, 4, it's just 3, 1. Since their value is heavily tied to the value of the stat they grant, font mods have been historically ineffective compared to other options. However, the internal playtest Armor 3.0 stat rework catapulted them into complete dominance. Even with this adjustment, these mods remain noticeably more potent than were prior to Edge of Fate, and the only one way to put one of the only ways to push beyond the stats available on Armor alone. Ah, see, they nerfed it. Reduced the benefit granted by the font Armor mods from 30, 50, 60 to 20, 40, 50. With the release of Edge of Fate, the player facing mobility stat will be deprecated, while each Guardian has its own set. Well, each Guardian will have its effects set to a base value equivalent of 30 mobility for Titans and Warlocks and 40 Hunters. Guardians that prefer to stay a little bit more mobile need more fixed ways to address those effects. Added new leg armor mods, enhanced athletics, which increases your base movement speed and jump for 1 to 3 stacks, provides the equivalent of 30, 50, 60 of the previous availability mod stat. Okay. Note, additionally, mobility bonuses provided as part of some other effects such as amplified and lightweight frame weapons will continue to boost movement speed and jump height as they have previously. The new version of mobility stat has higher upper limit than it currently does in the live, allowing you to stack up to 130 points instead of the previous cap of 100. So you can gain additional benefits from multiple sources in ways that were not possible pre-Edge of Fate. The leg armor mod recuperation has been a mainstay across the game for quite a while now, owing to its nearly unconditional benefit to survivability. While essential for the survivability of certain builds, as its nature, it's a must-pick option, has reduced the amount of space for other leg mods to thrive. With the Armor 3.0 stat rework, this need for a subclass agnostic healing source is now covered by the health stat. Let alone many of the other tools such as Boop and Perk Heal Clip, introduced with Season of the Witch, and some other new set bonuses coming along with Edge of Fate. Our goal for recuperation is to remain a helpful pick for more aggressive subclasses and builds without other access to healing, or for players who want to save the armor stats for more flashy options. However, its current impact on one of the most fundamental problems Guardians face does not match its low cost. So to reduce its impact, we're keeping especially close eye on this one, applying this change throughout the Edge of Fate to ensure having its intended effect rather than invalidating builds that rely on its effect to function. Reduce the healing granted by collecting an orb power with the recuperation armor mod from 70 to 15. Wow, that's a nerf. There's also some articles here on everything they've talked about. So Edge of Fate recap, post-reveal answers, previews. And here's the Bungie Day sales. If you want to donate to Bungie Day, you can get emblems. And you get all the emblems now, I believe. The emblems will be sent, so you just get all the emblems now. I think that's how it's working now. I think that's what I read. Bungie Day campaign, if you want to for that. Gifting a sub on Twitch at the moment gives you this emblem, which is pretty fantastic. It's a really nice emblem. Looks really clean. Obviously there's some known issues. Daily bonus non-honorary engrams have been disabled due to people deleting characters and then re-grabbing the non-honorary engrams. They've disabled them. But that's crazy that you deleted characters to do that. Like, why are you deleting characters? I suppose if you only use one character, it doesn't really matter. Astral Drake helmet update. We previously shipped a fix to the Astral Stasis Drake Hunter Cow that removed the hood due to clipping issues. This was later reverted to players who liked the visuals of the original hood could continue to enjoy it. However, we acknowledge that we're fans of both styles of the helmet. As mentioned in the previous hood, we are finally giving players both options. When Edge of Fate launches, players who own the Astral Stasis Drake Hunter armor set will be able to claim the new hoodless variant of the helmet from the special deliveries kiosk. Okay, and if you purchase it going forward, you also get it. On July 15th, the following Bungie.net and Disney API features will be removed. Okay, so these features are being removed from the Bungie site. Community creations, groups, legacy fighting finder, viewer bounties, and the Twitch extension. Okay, so the viewer bounties are going away. Yeah, they don't do anything anymore. As we announced in October 2023, groups were very important to initially help foster our community, and the decision to remove them did not come lightly. We encourage those groups to take screenshots or use other pages saving extensions such as Web Scrapbook to save any memories they cherish. Okay. Update 9.0.0.1 next Tuesday, July 15th. Maintenance for 9.0.0.1 will begin, but also timeline of the events. So it's offline at 4 AM and it should be back up at 12 PM on Tuesday. So it should be just before the DLC drops. Oh yeah, not 10 AM. Oh yeah, so 6 hours. So for me it's midnight and then it's 6 AM. So if you're in New Zealand, it's midnight on Tuesday, servers go down, and then at 6 AM when the reset happens, it's back online. For my Australian friends, I think it's it'll be 9, 10 PM, and then 4 AM, 3, 4 AM. There'll be a preload available, so you'll be able to preload it. Depends on your platform. Just check for updates. If you're on PlayStation, Xbox, do the Steam. Will be just after it's taken down, and same for Epic and Microsoft Store. Man, there's three PC options there. That's crazy. Here's your storage requirements. You need about 150 gig. For Steam, we need 300 gig available, and same with PlayStation 4, 300 gig available to install it. And so you're gonna. That's wild. It's going to be a no initial list for day one. Don't forget to claim your season rewards as they all go away. There's been some vault changes, and there's a no initial list here as well. But Artist of the Week, Sonia R via Twitter. That's pretty cool. I like that. Expedition 33 style Destiny. That's pretty nice. Movie of the Week. Alright, let's see what this is. I want to see what this is. And he just... Okay. Yeah, Kabbalah have some weird physics. That was pretty cool though. And that's the end of the twid. So if you guys have any questions, queries, or comments, be sure to let me know down below. If you are unsure what's coming, what to expect, or if you just want to comment on your thoughts, feelings, and opinions based on Edge of Fate, let me know down below as well. Anyway guys, that's going to be it for the day. I appreciate you guys for being here. You guys are fantastic. And until next time, stay safe. Take care.